QVC Partycades, AVP is complete. The Simpsons is not announced, and I issue some corrections because that's the kind of guy I am. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of This Week where we talk about last week, talk about what's going on today, and what's going to go on next week. Next week, we got pre-orders with a question mark. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. Oh, man. I've been fired up about something. So I can't wait to talk with you about that. Oh, man. Sorry about the intro. Been playing around with something. I got my second screen going here, and if I start one before the other and I don't do it just right, I get a bunch of echo. So I'm working on that. So thank you for being patient with me. What's going on, everybody? So, yeah, issue correction. So let's start off the stream with me issuing a correction. So last week I put up this graphic. Let's go ahead and bring this up, talk about it. Okay, so I was making the comparison with the Capcom Legacy cabinets, the head-to-head, and then the Big Blue. And I said that you're only going to have 3 games. In my haste to put the show together, the show notes and all that, I made a mistake. The way they had this game listed on Arcade1Up's website is a little bit confusing, as I kind of touched on that last week. There is no Street Fighter 2 Turbo. There's a Street Fighter, there's a Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but there's not a Street Fighter 2 Turbo. It's Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, and that was a mistake that I made. So these 2 games that I have here with the little red circle, they're the same game. They are the same game. So you're going to have 4 games. You're going to have a 4-game crossover with these cabs. So once again, something to consider when you're talking about spending the hard-earned money, weighing your options. So that is a viewer actually in my comment section pointed that out, and they were absolutely correct. So I wanted to make sure I issue that correction because I think it's important when you're talking about this much money to know what the hell we're getting into. So we are drinking tonight. We're still with the Four Roses single barrel, and it's almost gone. It's almost gone because there's been a lot of frustration as of late, as of recently with Arcade1Up. Frustration, confusion. I don't know. It's just a little bit of everything, but it's definitely made it interesting. That's for sure. So beyond the correction, I want to talk a little bit about Partycades. There's a Street Fighter 2 Partycade that was announced on QVC. P-Dubs, I know, he posted a link, and then as soon as I clicked on it, it was gone. So I think the listing, while it was may have been there initially, was very, very short-lived. Not sure what happened there. I was kind of curious upon seeing that. Does anybody really care about a Partycade? So let's jump on over to my channel. And I wanted to kind of show you, let's talk about a little very, very super scientific poll that I conducted. It's because all these are super scientific. 196 votes, almost 200 votes. Thank you so much to everybody who voted in the poll. And it was a simple question. The new Street Fighter Partycade is available at QVC. Who enjoys this form factor? And it's something I definitely wanted to delve into because I have not really been a fan of this. It's kind of a cool concept. It can be a countercade, a bar top. It can be hung on the back of your wall in your room or whatever. It can also be mounted on the wall, and it's very, very shallow, which is kind of a good thing. Kind of gets it up out of the way if you don't have a ton of room. But I guess the excitement or the people that are into this is about what maybe I expected. I don't know, maybe this is close to what I expected. You got 24%, a quarter of the people like it or into it, and 3/4 of those that answered the survey are not. So I'd like to know what you think about this. It's weird. So on one hand, I think that if you're short on space, maybe I don't know. I think of like somebody like in a dorm or somebody, a kid that only has a room. But then I'm thinking, are those people actually the ones that are going to buy this? Are those the ones that are yearning for yesteryear? Are those the ones that have the actual nostalgia for this stuff? I don't know. Maybe not nostalgia, but maybe they're just into retro gaming, or they like that old aesthetic, that 80s sort of look, perhaps. I don't know. So it's weird for me. Like I said, I like the fact that it is a very thin form factor. It's going to give you some options if you're really tight on space. Maybe you don't have a man cave or an office or whatever, and you're short on space. So that kind of makes some sense to me. But when you're talking about Pac-Man and just a couple buttons and a joystick, that's one thing. When you're talking about a 6-button smashing fighting game, I don't know that it works. I don't know that it works that well. I know they're trying to use Street Fighter, Pac-Man, everything to the nth degree. They're trying to put it in every possible form factor you could ever imagine. So I get that. I'm not trying, this is not really a dig on them. I'm just questioning the validity of the form factor. Does it make sense? Do a lot of people buy these? I don't know. I mean, let's just go over to QVC real quick and take a look at this and see. Now, we're obviously not going to be able to find the Street Fighter 2 listing because that thing's gone bye-bye instantly, I think. So maybe there's more of a yearning or more of a following of this thing than I thought. You can still see the Pac-Man, though. And this is a good example, I think, of having not a lot of space. I don't want to watch the video. Having not a lot of space doesn't really matter when you just have a few buttons. That's no big deal. You got a joystick, you got a couple little buttons. It's no big deal. It's not that bad. But it's when you get into this stuff that I'm like, that looks kind of goofy. It doesn't look kind of goofy. It looks a lot goofy. It looks weird. This makes more sense to me, I guess. If you're not this guy's crotch. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. But this hanging on the door, I guess. But then hopefully you got an outlet close to your door. Something I never thought about. How close are the outlets to your door? I don't know that I have a lot of outlets that are close to my door, but it's fine. But it's just something that I think that's only going to be used if you just have no space whatsoever. I like the fact that it's a bigger screen than this little guy over here I got on the countercade. I like that, obviously. But yeah, the form factor it's just a little bit odd to me. Like I said, I don't like this. This is weird. This makes more sense, but even that's kind of odd. Maybe the best way to use this is kind of hanging on the wall with a little bracket up there. Kind of see that. But then again, I don't like the fact that the bracket is exposed. It seemed like if they would tuck that under, have a different mounting system where this bracket wasn't really visible, sort of like hang an LCD TV on the wall. You don't see that bracketry. That would make a little more sense to me because that looks kind of clunky. But yeah, so that's just my 2 cents. And actually, what is this? Am I looking at this? Oh, here it is right here. Stupid. There's a listing right there. Yeah, so that's it. So it didn't disappear. It's right there. It just doesn't have, it's not on the actual listing on the main page there. So there's Street Fighter. Yeah. It's like I said, it's there. It's cool. But I think that you're definitely going to have, man, you're not going to have any room at all here to rest your palm whatsoever. And it's okay. I mean, you don't have a lot with the other, the arcades, but it's just not, I don't know. Tell me what you think down in the comment section below. Besides the fact that I totally missed it, that it's actually here. I thought that it was gone. I thought that it was just the Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man variants, but it looks like it is there. I guess of the 3, this might look the best. I don't know. I'm a big fan of this original artwork for Street Fighter 2, so that I'm kind of digging that. But it's I don't know. You don't. Maybe if they had a lip marquee, maybe that would be a little bit better. Maybe, I don't know. But then they also have that controller port for player 2. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And then when you factor in the cost of this thing, when I know it is half the price of a legacy cab. I get that, but I don't know. It's also only $50 more than a countercade. Well, depending on the countercade you get, some of these countercades, I think the rumored two-player countercades that they have is going to be $200 also. So $199, maybe $179. But I don't know. It's just kind of a weird form factor. And that might be a little bit of a rant. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off on that one, but I just wanted to address that because there's nothing new coming out really. That's the only new thing that came out last week. Looking forward to next week for sure. But let's say hi to the chat real quick. I have a lot of people stopping by. Man, all right, awesome. Alfred Berger, hi. How are you? What's going on? Mike Hawkhurst is second. Yes, you are second, but you're number 1 in all of our hearts. Number 1 in all of our hearts for sure. Even though I'm not planning to buy this Street Fighter 2 Partycade, I think I am one of the weirdos that actually likes it. I don't think you're weird. If it had support for online matches, I would consider it a buy. I don't think you're weird by liking it. It's definitely got its pluses and minuses for sure. Like anything else at Arcade One, it makes. And when you're talking about a $200 price tag, $220, it's not crazy. It's not crazy, but for me, I just don't dig it at all. I don't plan on touching anything at these insane prices they jump to. No kidding. Walter says, hell, I'll just pull a full size with all Capcom 4-player games at $3K before these prices. I think you're having a serious conversation. I don't think that's a lot. You're not really exaggerating in this sense. When we're talking about cabs that are $600, $650, I mean, I think it's safe to assume, and we're going to get into this in just a little bit. It's safe to assume that the X-Men 4-player is going to be $650. I mean, they're asking $650 for Turtles. They're asking us that with a straight face, $650. So $650 for, a 3/4 scale. I think you're having a serious conversation when you're talking about an original hardware for $1,000 or less, maybe $900, versus $650 for, something that's smaller. And, it does have more games, but only compared to the original that had one game. So I don't think that this is hyperbole. I think that you're touching on something I think a lot of people are dealing with. GameBroker 84. Hi, Fox. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, sir. Always enjoy your Sunday streams. Well, thank you very much. Your AVP is insane. It's insane. Awesome work and looks incredible. Thank you. Thank you. It is insane. I have been known to be insane in the membrane. Actually, no one's ever told me that, but it's just a song I like. 1 minute-ish. I made it hiding from the heat outside. Yes, hide indeed. I don't know where you are, but it's probably hot. Here we go. Here we go indeed. What's up, Enrique? How you doing? Good to see you. Having the Street Fighter 2 Partycade at $220 is proof the licensing and the 17-inch monitor doesn't justify a $6 price tag for the full-size units. Yeah, because I think at that point you're just getting into the price of MDF, which is not cheap. It's gone up. It's gone up like everything else. Everything else. Any chance of House of Dead in 2022? I think it's a possibility. I think that next year is going to be a year where Arcade 1-Up makes up some ground, and they're going to have to. And I think that they know that. But I think there's a good chance next year we have to see another shooter. Let's just be frank about that, right? We know that we have to have another shooter next year. No driving cabs, no new driving cabs, no new shooters. This year we've got to have something, right? I think Arcade 1-Up knows that. And it's got to be something. If we just can surmise let's look at what they have, the relationships they have now with Sega, Konami, which is that relationship when we're talking about Turtles? Is that relationship with or with X-Men for that matter? Is relationship with the Konami, or is the relationship with Disney? Fox/Disney? Is the relationship with, when it comes to Turtles, Nickelodeon? More than Konami. I'm curious that relationship may not exist, that direct relationship with Konami. And I don't know the ins and outs, but I would sort of assume that it's actually more a relationship with the studios that currently hold those rights for those properties. That's probably the way you would want to go when you want to acquire that anyway. So when it comes to game studios, game companies that they have rapport with, I think Sega and Namco would definitely be, two big ones, and Capcom would be that third. So let's go look at those shooters that are within sort of the wheelhouse of those three companies that are generation specific as far as graphics go. I think you're looking at some of these spy photos we saw, whether you think they're real or not. House of Dead is one of those. I think Sega is definitely a company that's trying to get their properties out there and take advantage of every single opportunity they have to sell their license. And I don't mean that in a whorish way. I think that just means they're trying to make some money. And what else are they into? What else are they doing? What other hardware are they coming out with? Not much. What other software are they coming out with? Software is the only thing that they have. Software is their only game in town. Oh my gosh, do I have do I have a super chat from the lovely Tugs? How are you, Fox? Hey, hope you're having a fabulous Sunday. I am having a fabulous Sunday. I hope that you are having a fabulous Sunday as well, Tugs. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Oh, what am I can buy more bourbon now. You're keeping me intoxicated. Maybe not intoxicated, but you are keeping me hydrated. And for that, we're going to hit you with a little bit of this. Thank you so much.
Target spotted. This should be quick.
Thanks, Tugs, again. Appreciate it. Always supporting the channel. Very, very happy to see you, girl. Hope you're doing well. Let me try to scroll back up here just a little bit. And yeah, Walter, pink pants. We're not trying to be judgmental here, but come on, guy. Pink pants at a Street Fighter arcade party. I don't know. That probably wasn't the focus of the party. Shellback, what's up? Don't focus on Mike Rauch. Mike Rauch. Not sure who you're talking about there, buddy. Not sure you're talking about. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for stopping by, Shellback. Ricky, it's very cool that they are doing it for those who want with a screen. Okay, to own one with a screen and a mini mod project is very cool. But the Street Fighter 1 player along with the 2-player extender to play, yeah, it's something that I think it's going to be. It's going to be something that I think that is going to fit a certain niche, right? A certain person that kind of wants, maybe they're really like that form factor. Maybe they're really short on space. The Countercade with the little 7-inch monitor, 8-inch monitor. It's not doing it for them, and they want something a little bit bigger to justify that purchase. That makes sense. I'm gonna give them too much of a hard time. So, and I think it does have potential for some modding projects in some way, shape, or form for sure. By the way, Alien vs. Predator cab is looking very nice. I enjoyed the series on that. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I do have a Mike, I do have a playlist set up for all 4 parts. If you want to jump on that, I also have a playlist of all my other builds. So if you want to kind of binge that, catch up on what's been going on with the projects for some of the new subscribers, I want to thank you so much for that. But yeah, definitely jump into that for sure. Definitely jump into that for sure. Tony C, anyone want my Asteroids Partycade? Have to downsize now that I have Tempest Atari Legacy. Yeah, you kind of stepped up, right? You upgraded. And maybe that is the real purpose of something like this, like a Countercade or the Partycade. It's the gateway drug to arcade one-up. It's the gateway drug to the full-size cabs, or their full-size cabs. Still 3/4, but still, it's a way to kind of get people into that. They get started with that, and they go on. And maybe that, and I think that's probably worth it for sure. So anybody, Tony C has one. He's got a Partycade. If you're looking for one, hit him up. Hit him up. Walter, you'll find the Legacy cab sooner or later on sale for this price. I think so. I think so. I think that once production gets caught up and these things are abundant in all the retailers, we're gonna see some improved. Right now it's sort of a seller's market for everything. If you're paying attention to real estate, I mean it's a seller's market for sure. Just from the scarcity of everything out there is completely scarce. So I think that when you look at something like this, give it some time, be patient, and it's going to be a seller's market again because all that production is going to ramp up, and we're going to have these things kind of flood the market. And I think we'll see some prices coming down. We'll definitely see some prices coming down for sure. Yeah, so let's talk just a little bit about the fact that AVP is done. The cabinet is complete. It was a ton of fun. That was a ton of fun doing that. Here's the thing. Here was a turning point for me when it actually kind of came. I kind of got over the hump, right? Whenever I broke open that board and I saw that the actual control boards, the one that held the processor and all that was kind of small, and I saw that there, all the buttons and everything was going to be 2-wire standard hookup, standard JAMA configuration. I'm like, okay, this is nice. This is going to work out. And then when I saw that when I mocked it up and saw that it fit inside that control deck, that was it. I'm like, yes, here we are. It's just perfect. So once that kind of came together, everything else, for the most part, was just wiring. There's not a lot of physical mods that had to happen. I wanted to retain those controls on the control deck. with the volume and the power. Once I kind of got that figured out, it was great. Loved it. So that was great to see that kind of come together. The artwork, I was sketchy. I wasn't sketchy, but I was kind of nervous about how that was going to lay out. That worked out nice. And I think that, I mean, it's a great games list too. If you check out that video, you see the games list for the Capcom home arcade stick. It's really, really nice. Really worked out well. So we got to talk about some shenanigans, some chicanery, something that kind of got me a little angry. I see it in the chat already. Let me just highlight this. Where did it go? I had it and I lost it. There it is. Okay. Jeremy Gomez has the question of the night. Hey, where's the Simpsons? Where is the Simpsons? Now, we were told that the Simpsons was going to come out, it was going to be available for pre-order on the 15th, just like X-Men, just like that beautiful 4-player X-Men cab. So this is what I want to do real quick. Let's go just jump over real quick and just take a look at the Arcade 1-Up website, just for a nice little reminder. Not that one. Here it is. Boom. Share. Obviously, there's the Big Blue. There's the Turtles in Time cab. We know that, let's just double check this real quick. We know the Class of 81. Yeah, that's going to be a pre-order in August thing. So let's go back from there. So the only thing really, as of right now, that's coming up for pre-order is X-Men. July 15th, next Thursday. So get ready for that. Get ready for that debacle. Get ready for the craziness that will ensue, I would imagine. And that'll be a whole nother stream, I would imagine, talking about the issues there. What don't you see, kids? What don't you see? The Simpsons. Now, I kind of got some backlash. I suffered the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune when I suggested that it was a problem that the Simpsons cab was not on the website whatsoever. I had some Arcade 1-Up loyalists, huge fans, which I'm a fan. I think all of us that have made the jump and made the purchase and bought one of their cabinets, I think we're all fans. But some fans kind of got mad at me, saying, "Relax, chill out. What the hell's wrong with you? It's just not ready yet, Fox. Why are you getting all upset? Why are you getting all come on? Why are you bashing Arcade 1-Up? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? It's obviously this reason. It's obviously that reason. It's obviously coming. Come on. Just because it's not on the website doesn't mean anything, right? Right? Well, if you pay attention to their Twitter, you probably saw this. They posted this 2 days ago. This was, Happy Video Game Day. I think this was 2 days ago. I think it was the 8th. 3 days ago? Yes. This was on the 8th. Okay, so 3 days ago. Happy National Video Game Day. Everybody enjoy 8 classic game titles you know and love in one convenient arcade Partycade machine. And they brought up the Partycades. And that's fine, but I love the comment section because it's never about what they post up here. It's never about the headliner. It's always about other stuff, right? So you could click on this and you can scroll down. You can say, hey, what's the, July 8th when this is posted, what's the first thing the guy says? Somebody comes in and says, hey, is there a release date set yet for The Simpsons? Which this guy, I'm sure, just thought he was crazy for even. Why would I even have to ask this? This is silly. Obviously, it's coming on the 15th, right? There was all the news outlets reporting this stuff. It's crazy. Arcade 1-Up official. They responded. They replied to this a day later. At Amazing DVD, we greatly appreciate our fans' enthusiasm towards our new announcements. At this time, this title has not been officially announced. We encourage you to sign up for our email list through our website to stay up to date on new announcements and all things Arcade 1-Up. Have you been smoking crack cocaine? I mean, this is a serious question. Is the person running their Twitter on a drug, a hallucinogen? This has not been announced? Really? You think? Not been announced. That's weird because I got a question for you. This has not been announced, which, well, then I got a question. Who's this guy? Let's hit play.
Not ask about. Can you talk a little about the arcade machines that you announced here at E3? Starting with the Simpsons, the features on it, and the other games that are going to be on it, and that kind of stuff. And we'll go down the list and also hit Big Blue and Turtles in Time and all that good stuff.
Yeah, this year is exciting. I mean, this E3 is exciting. We have 5 big titles that are coming out. I mean, 5 big machines. So obviously, The Simpsons. The Simpsons is unique. It's been expected.
Obviously, The Simpsons. Obviously, The Simpsons. I mean, obviously, who is this guy? Who is this guy? What does he do? What does he have a job at Arcade1Up? Who is he? Is he the CMO, the chief marketing officer at Arcade1Up? What? No, that's crazy. That's crazy. This is weird. So it's not announced. Who's that guy? It's not announced. What? Are you insane? All right, to say that it's not ready, to say that I'm excited that you're excited and we're all excited. Everybody's excited. We're very excited that you're excited to be excited about this upcoming project, this upcoming countercade, or not countercade, this upcoming cabinet that we are ready. We're ready to go. Here we go. It's not announced yet. Okay, so wait, so let's just recap. It's not on their website at all. And now we have official Twitter responses from Arcade1Up saying it's not announced. It has not been announced. What are you talking about? This is insane. To say that, so you're just going to forget? You're just going to deny that it happened? So we're all just insane. Let me look this up real quick. And I'm sorry that I didn't have this prepared, but this seems weird, doesn't it? This seems a little odd. Let me see. Let's scroll down. What is this? Let me share this with you, kids, because it's funny because some of the reporting, I dare I say, is contradictory to that statement. Arcade1Up made its first big announcement of E3. Oh my goodness, it's the first sentence of the article. It's the first sentence of the article. Arcade1Up made its first big announcement. But wait, you just said it wasn't announced. Now that's weird. I had to pause and take a drink. Arcade1Up made its first big announcement June 9th at 6:17 a.m. Made its first big announcement of E3 2021 just before E3, and it was the game the company has been teasing for weeks. The Simpsons. Wow. This is odd. Oh, they have pictures. This must be Photoshop. Oh, no, it says Arcade1Up on the bottom. It says Arcade1Up on the bottom. That's weird. Maybe this is all just Photoshop. Maybe it's all just a trick. This is crazy. They've even had hands-on with the prototype. That's so weird. Now, is it just me or is this a little bit suspect? Is it just me or is this a little bit like a whoops? Did somebody not dot their I's and cross their T's? Does it seem a little weird? I mean, I guess it doesn't seem weird now that I made a big deal about the fact that it's not on their website. It's not on the website. Everything else is. It's not. I mean, in the interview, he talks about the 5 that they announced, the 5 they have coming out. Everybody was excited about it. They were teasing digital pixelated pictures of donuts before, and now nothing. And now they're saying, they went quiet. Okay, you went quiet, and we probably always knew, okay, well, there's something going on with that second game, but they're trying to sort that out. Don't worry. I'm sure it's coming. And listen, I even put it in the thumbnail before I really got into it and started digging into their social media. And we were going to have a nice little discussion about Simpsons or X-Men. Which one should you go with? And we were going to talk about the control panel. We could talk about, are they at the same price point? Probably so. Fewer games, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not worth it. Blah, 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 blah. Excited about the Simpsons. And then now they're saying it wasn't even announced after announcing it. Multiple times. It's not announced after we announced it before. and after E3. Weird to say the least. So that's just my 2 cents. What do you kids think about this? Jerry? I don't know. I can't answer your question now. Not at all. Not at all. 9 Scorpio says negative Ghost Rider. Formation is full. Game room is already full. So you're gonna have to pass on that one. I understand. Damn, 18 minutes behind. It's no big deal. You didn't miss much. Use Fox's Z313 speaker mod on a stock 1-up. So very nice. Make it up, Justin. You are awesome. Thank you. I'm glad it worked out for you. Grabbed 3 out of 4 legacy cabs for $2.99. Sold for sale. Which one did you not get? I have Simpsons on CoinOps, CoinOps X, CoinOps Next, H-Yum per spin attraction, Pi 3 image, etc. No need for a 1-up. Simpsons. Well, there you go. Tony C has it on lockdown, has it under control. He says, damn autocorrect. I assumed there was something going on there. Kev Gret, RK1 marketing department so bad they couldn't plan a 2-car parade. Well, but which one goes first, man? There's 2 cars. There's just options there. Best to just say that the parade was canceled, or better yet, we never even said there was going to be a parade. What do you mean a parade? A little weird. Mike Hertzog, even my mom knows about the Simpsons arcade 1-up. Everybody knows. Yeah, it's weird. Your mom knows, but somehow arcade 1-up forgot. Oh, we never knew. We never announced this. This was never going to happen. You're just crazy. Just crazy. It's really disappointing because we're starting to line up our dollar bills. We're starting to get the credit cards paid off. We're starting to get ready for the pre-order situation that's going to happen next week. A pretty big pre-order situation. X-Men is nothing to sneeze at. Only 3 games, yeah, but one of them's X-Men. The other one is Captain America and the Avengers. Not a bad game either. The third one is horrible, but at least you're getting 3. At least that's more than Turtles. I don't know, but not for nothing. X-Men with that layout, X-Men with those graphics. I shared that picture with my brother, and he's like, "Dude, do you remember how many quarters we blew on that?" I said, "I can't even count that. I don't even know. I can't. I remember going in with the 20 and putting it in the machine and taking a bag of quarters and just plopping it down right there on the X-Men cab and just playing that till the bag was empty." So much fun. So it's not so you can't discount that. I know Simpsons is kind of getting all the love right now and all the focus. So much so that RK1 don't know what we're talking about. But X-Men is nothing. So that was going to be a good dynamic, a good head to head. And now, we don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, it's not even been announced, even though we announced it. I wonder if the CMO still has a job. You think he's got a job? How can your chief marketing officer announce something that's not supposed to be announced? How did they let that slip to all the media outlets before it was ready? Because make no mistake, kids, if this thing was ready, they would have it out. No problem. They want to have this out there. Don't think I'm just being stupid here. I know they want to sell it. They want that on their website. But there's something happened at the freaking 9th hour or 10th hour, 11th hour? 11th hour. At the last second, something happened, and they were not allowed to sell this thing. What happened? What was the screw up there? There's a foobar, a snafu, you name it. It's bad. It is not good. And I don't know how this is just sort of flown under the radar. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's concerned. Like, oh, wait, what? You're just sitting there just thinking Simpsons is going to pop up on a website? What are you doing? We should be, listen, brothers and sisters in the arcade community, worshipers of the nostalgia, we deserve better. We do not need to stand for this. We have been lied to, deceived, and cheated. And it can't go on. It just can't go on. We need to make our voices heard, and we need to do it now. We can't sit idly by. If we have YouTube channels, great. But if you've got a Twitter, if you've got an Instagram, if you've got a Facebook, and you're following them in any way, shape, or form, listen, I'm not saying be belligerent, but let them know you're not happy. This is disappointing. Your credibility is taking a huge hit right now. I don't think they want that. They don't need that moving forward. No company does. But now when they release something or when they say something's coming, nobody's going to believe them. When this is a direct response, this is not conjecture. I'm not making something up. This is from Arcade 1-Up's official Twitter to someone asking a legit question. Not even being a wise guy, not talking out of turn, not getting crazy, just saying, hey, it's at this time, whenever that article, that comment was posted, it's the 8th. We're like, what is that, 7 days away from the release? What's the pre-order situation? And you say, oh, it's not even been released. It's nuts. You are just taking the air out of the room. You're destroying any kind of hype that you may have already built. Every bit of goodwill that you have been building towards is just gone. And, whatever you think about John D, pluses or minuses, whatever, I think that he, for whatever reason, was able to deliver a consistent message all the way across the board. And at the same time, going to get you a little hyped up, thinking about the future. But I don't think that he ever misled anyone. At least the comments that I saw. Maybe some people felt misled, but I don't believe that there was a lot of misleading going on. When this is a major, right now, this is a major debacle. We're 4 days away, and, as of the 9th, so 6 days away, they were denying that it was even announced. Insane. I wonder if all the Arcade 1-Up Simpsons cabs had a maritime accident, and John D has been using the Glomar Explorer to recover the containers. Yes, he's down there personally picking up each one. Please don't get wet. Please. Listen, it's MDF. If this container went over, it would have sucked up most of the ocean. That MDF is gone. You can't reuse it. Kev Gray, didn't they tweet a picture of the Simpsons donuts? Yes, they did. That was listen. They were building hype about this, and everybody. And I think for the most part, it worked. I think everybody was excited. I think for whatever reason, I didn't get the feeling that the 2 games was as much of an issue as it was for Turtles. I think because we just had a Turtles cab with 2 games, the same 2 games. I think a lot of people were going to give them some slack, or give them some I guess a pass for the most part when it came to that, because they knew that for whatever reason, the licensing was probably hard to lock down. When it came to the Simpsons, we're like, okay, at least we're getting it. Everybody's pumped, right? 2 coin doors, and you are getting more hardware with that one. You are getting a trackball. So, whoa, we got a $5 super chat. For the Z313 speaker mod. Love it. Hey, listen, I'm glad you love it. Mega Drive Justin, thank you so much for the $5, man. And I will hit you with a little something. What do you want? Let's just give you Jago.
I'm afraid your path ends here.
Your path continues, sir. It doesn't end here. It continues. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really do appreciate it. Every little bit helps out the channel, and I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I'm really glad you enjoyed that mod too. It makes a hell of a difference. If you're wondering what he's talking about, look back in my my playlist. It's a Z13 speaker mod that I made for. I guess the first one I did was the first video that I showcased that mod was when it was one after I did the live stream for the Marvel vs. Capcom. That was an unboxing live stream. After that, the only mod that I've done to this was that. And you're basically it's just a plug and play thing. So you're not really hurting anything, but it really adds a lot of bass and amps up the speakers, gives you more power. So it definitely adds to the experience. It gives you that. The big thing is it adds bass. It gives you kind of that Q sound feeling from back in the day. Really, really good. Really, really good. So, Kev Gret, it was on their website for about an hour. Yes. So initially, And I think Michael B. Game Genie, he was the one that kind of, broke that story too. He said, hey, listen, I went on the website and it was up. It was there. And then it was gone. So he actually, I think he was able to get a screenshot of that also. And we saw that, hey, it was there. So really, really weird. Some huge miscommunications. I mean, big miscommunications. Somebody really dropped the ball here. And it's pretty substantial when you have all the marketing coming up to this, when you had all the pictures, when you had, I mean, what was it? I think at least 3 or 4 articles that day before E3 came out with full spreads on The Simpsons. It was a major, major deal. There was a huge push by RK1UP to really get everybody pumped. And I think for the most part, it worked. Everybody was excited about it. Even somebody like me who really wasn't interested was interested. I was like, well, I mean, having the trackball there kind of opens up a few possibilities. I was worried about some of the button placement, but I was curious about the second game. I was pretty sure it was bowling, almost like 100% sure it was bowling. But then I was like, well, it's those are probably the 2 games, but maybe there's more games. And then when we had the leaks with the Canadian Best Buy listing for Turtles, and we saw that there were more games on that, well, maybe they're trying to pull a fast one. Maybe Simpsons is going to have more than just those 2 games. But then we see this, and it's just disheartening. It just, like I said, it just deflates the balloon of excitement that was the Simpsons marketing. My Super Pac-Man Countercade is hiding at my work. It is. I mean, I like the artwork too. I'm with you, Tony C. I think it looks great, dude. I mean, this is dope. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's the American in me, the red, white, and blue, or maybe it's just that 80s vibe you're getting with the cartoon. That's very like Saturday morning cartoon. The Schoolhouse Rock cartoons. We had some of that imagery. It just looks good. The ghosts, the way they're animated. So it's pretty cool. I like it. I'm really interested to see like a 2-player version of these countercades. I want to see what that looks like. Can't wait to mod it too. Mike Hawk Hertz. Through a weird legal loophole, they have to get Tracy Ullman's permission to announce the Simpsons cab. That's not weird. She's the creator, isn't she? It originally came on the Tracy Ullman show. Was the first appearance of the Simpsons. Kind of like just like a little side thing, just like they really were just like an afterthought cartoon. And it was just like, and then it blew up and it became the longest running TV show of all time. Still going on. So that would be, I wouldn't doubt that, but Mike, that's almost like obviously, I mean, you think somebody somewhere. So what happened? So you got Fox just got bought by Disney. So did Fox not communicate that to Disney? Did Disney not know about that, or did they not communicate that to RK1UP? Did RK1UP? I mean, it may not even be RK1UP's fault, I guess is my point. It is possible that for some reason they got a call at the last second from Disney saying, "Hey, pump your brakes. By the way, we can't do this." And then if that's the case, then would Disney be at fault? Would Disney be liable in some way? I don't know. But if this is truly RK1UP's fault, it's bad. It's bad. But if it's not, I think if I was RK1UP when they finally do get the all clear, I think I would be throwing a little shade, back at either Fox or Disney. I don't know if I would, I know they want to maintain that relationship, but damn, at least get some money on the back end or something. Get an exclusive in some way, shape, or form. Enrique says, I have a great question. Well, let's hear it, buddy. Let's hear your great question. So what if you had a Final Fight cab, purchased a Street Fighter Partycade, and placed a PCB inside the Final Fight arcade? Would that work? Don't know. The quick answer is I don't know, because you look at, I think so. If you look at, I'll give you a quick example right now of like a countercade. I'm sorry if that was loud. A countercade PCB that I have right here, and then you have that first gen PCB. So here you go. Big physical difference, and it's not just the physical difference as far as the size goes, but the connectors themselves. Now, I believe they're probably not using this old first gen connector up here. They're probably using the third gen connector. But even if that's the case, that's completely different than something like this. This is obviously smaller for your countercades, and it has plenty of power to run Street Fighter. So the short answer is I don't know, because I can't 100% say for sure that would work. Probably going to have to do a little searching and see if I can find one on maybe YouTube or somewhere, or Reddit maybe, where someone has actually taken that PCB out. You can take a look at it from there. But as far as like the IO, I mean, anything's possible. But I tend to lean towards the fact that that's going to be more of a countercade PCB than a standard RK1-up PCB. Because your question, what if you had a Final Fight cab? Okay, so you've got a first gen cab and you think you can put that, or you want to see if you can put that in. This is what I would do if I were you. I would look up Very Very Sneaky on. I can actually leave the link after the stream's over. I can leave the link in the pinned comment on eBay, and just send him your Final Fight PCB, and he will work his magic. And when you get that back, it's going to have all those games on it anyway. It'll basically have. I did that mod myself before I swapped out the monitors on my first gen Street Fighter, and you'll get all the first gen games, including like Pac-Man and everything else. So you're going to get those three Street Fighter 2 games that you're probably trying to get out of this. You can get on that, and then it's a plug and play. So once you get your PCB back, plug it in, you're good to go. That's probably the better way to go. And I think, I can't remember how much that was. That was less than $40 with shipping and everything. So not that bad. Probably want to go that route, Enrique, just to be on the safe side. And if for some reason you mess up your stock PCB, you can find another PCB on eBay those are cheap. I mean, the first gen PCBs are pretty cheap. Zero Hero Cash Money says they're adding more games. The Ninja Turtles, Simpsons, and X-Men. I will take that bet. And you know what? If I lose, I will be happy that I lost, because that means they actually are adding more games. Because I don't think they're adding more games. I think they're going to try and get away with this. You see it already. I posted on my community post. GameStop is the first one that's getting greedy, and they're raising their prices. You see that now their big buck hunter is going to be $600. They already have the legacy cabs at $449. That was supposed to be a $399 cab all day long. And you can still get it for that price. You don't have to go to GameStop to do that. But GameStop is saying, no, we're going to charge more. We're going to get more out of this. And, they're not doing anything to the product. They're just raising the price. There's no new features. There's no bundles. They're just throwing $50 onto this just because. And if they can get away with it, they absolutely will. If they can get away with it, they will. Look what they're doing with The Simpsons. They have just flat out denied that they even announced it. Think about that. That's shady. You're talking about a company that, after all the hype, after announcing it, I just showed you the YouTube video where he announced it. The CMO announces it. I just showed you one of the many articles where they announced it. In the article, they say RK1-Up has just announced The Simpsons. Now they're saying it hasn't been announced. Come on. Why wouldn't we think that they're just going to jack up those prices without adding games? I don't think that they want to or think that they need to. Super confusing, in my opinion. I just hope it comes out at the end of the day. I hope that it comes out too. I think there's a lot of people that want this. I want everybody to get what they want. Don't you think that I would lose my mind if they had an Alien versus Predator cab come out? I would eat that up. Everybody's got that game. Everybody's got that game that they really want. And they want it in this form factor. And they want to be able to just play it like they used to back in the day. Everybody has that. And I want everybody to get that. I want companies like RK1-Up to be around for a long time, long enough to produce all these games that we all want. I want everybody to be happy. I'm happy. I want you to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. And I think that this is capitalism at its finest. You see a market that didn't really exist before. Now you're filling it, and people are excited, and they're getting what they want. And hey, this is a new company that gets to grow. It's great. Provide jobs for people. It's wonderful all the way around. I want this too. But if this is the company, if these are the decisions the company's going to make and be all like shady and whatnot, do you want a company like this to succeed? it's one thing to do some stuff on the back end that we can't see, but just to have all this play out right in front of us. I mean, man, they are losing. I think they're losing the battle for sure. The the social media battle, I think, is probably not in their favor at this point. Hey, Rubicon Alpha, how you doing? Says, yeah, I'm glad I just own At Games products. No drama. Pretty cut and dry, isn't it? Pretty cut and dry. Like or love, hate, whatever you think about At Games, there's not much drama there. Same thing with iArcade. Not a lot of drama. I mean, you buy the arcade and you just wait for games to get released and you just download them. Not a lot of drama. It's actually kind of boring. Nice and boring for sure. Page One Comics. Did they lose the licensing for Simpsons? Listen, man, this is, I don't know. No one knows. And nobody's like covering this, waving the flag saying, hey, woohoo, over here. There's a problem. There's a big problem. I don't know what it is that happened to just pull it like this, but it's nuts. I mean, it's crazy. I think that they need to address this, and doing it that way is not the right way to do it. They would have been better not to answer that tweet. They would have been better just to leave that alone and continue to work behind the scenes to get it right, to get it rectified. But man, that, for me, this puts Simpsons now in the category of Killer Instinct, and maybe not as bad as Killer Instinct, because Killer Instinct was announced back in January, and now it's kind of in limbo. We don't know what's going on. But for The Simpsons to have all this fanfare and to now just be like disavowed, like Mission Impossible, it's weird. So Page One Comics, we don't know. We just don't know. We're just speculating right now. Hey, Big Reese, what's going on, man? AVP 1UP is looking sweet, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. We have got to hook up and do a live stream together. Hit me up on Twitter. Let's see if we can't. I want to have you on the show. I want to have you on the Sunday show for sure, so we can just talk. I know the time zone may be a little crazy. Maybe we can set up a special time to do another stream, but definitely want to have Big Reese on for sure. Want to have a lot of people on. Want to have a ton of people on, but I got a soft spot for the Aussies. I don't know why. I don't know. I like Crocodile Dundee. But there's some good people that I've met, the great streamers in Australia. They have a great point of view too. So yeah, look forward to seeing you. Hopefully we'll make that happen and get you on the stream for sure. Walter says, yeah, Game Room Goodies has the same games with more at 3.5K on a full size. Okay, so $3,500 for a full size, and you get Simpsons and X-Men and Captain America and Turtles in Time. You were looking at $2,000 to $2,400 for, yeah. So you're looking at, over $2,000 for multiple arcades to get this machine. Or, I mean, this is the thing. This is, I don't want to get too lost deep in the topic. I don't get lost, I guess, deep in the woods, whatever the phrase is. There is a argument to be made for multicades, and then there's arcade 1UP is something different. I don't think that it's necessarily a fair comparison. I see what you're making a good point, Walter. I'm not discounting your point, but it's the age old. You have multicades and you have what arcade 1UP is, which is different. It's a different experience. It's more of a singular experience. You have multiple games on a cabinet, but they're not multicades. This is not a Pandora's box. This is not an iArcade. This is not an At Games. This is not one of those multicades that is just full of games. And you have thousands of games, and then you have software you can interact with. This is pretty much a lockdown configuration, but the price point was substantially cheaper, and you get more of that arcade experience. As far as the form factor, as far as more of an individualistic sort of device that's going to be sort of, this is my Turtles cab, and this is my Marvel's Capcom cab, this is my AVP cab, and all that, and you could build out that arcade. It's not that you couldn't do that with multicades, but having a bunch of multicades is a little bit different. So I think that is the argument, one versus the other. It's not a total direct comparison. So I see your point. But yeah, as the price of these arcade 1UPs increase, they get really close to a multicade price point. And now we have a very legitimate question that we have to start asking ourselves. Once we get to that price point, is it really worth it to have all this decoration, which is sweet and I love, but is it really worth it? I'm not sure. Not quite sure. I think the waters get muddied for sure. You have a Ram truck, ? Question mark. Rainwater says, Tony C, you have a Ram truck? Good choice. So do I. But mine is white, not blue. I think the blue one better. The blue one's better. I have no idea what in the hell you guys are talking about. But I drive a Ram for work, and it's a good truck. It's a good truck for sure. It's 2,500. 2,500 HD gas, not diesel. So it doesn't have quite the torque, but not bad. I'm not going to complain too much. I'm trying to get caught back up to the chat here. I apologize, everybody. It kind of jumped on me. Got a lot of interaction. That's great. Hey, P-Dub, what's up, brother? Cheers. Cheers to you. Drink up. Let's see. Okay. Majin Ian, what's going on? What is going on indeed? Jake Fowles, hey, how you doing? What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Tony C, funny, Jeff, just message John D back and say, what's it? Somebody's talking to John D? There you go. He might want to intervene. Because his company is losing its way for sure. Losing its way for sure. Capes get stuck in jet engine intakes, per The Incredibles. Yes, they do. No capes. No capes. Unless you're Batman, you got to have a cape. You have a cape. Maybe I'll just get the new TMNT cab, put Simpsons side art on one side, make it TMNT/Simpsons multicade. Nothing wrong with that. Big kid toy box. That's a good idea. Kind of go for that class of 1981 look, but with Konami cabs. I really wanted, I think a lot of us did back in the early days, when we first had that initial Gen 3 run and you saw Ninja Turtles, or maybe I think Ninja Turtles was probably rumored. A lot of us wanted that Konami 4-player K. I mean, it's sad that it couldn't happen. I wanted that 4-player Konami cab so bad. I wanted to, I mean, can you think about it? To have, even if it was just 3 games, if you had X-Men, if you had The Simpsons, if you had TMNT, just the first one, how awesome would that be? Let's say you were able to get both Turtles games on there with The Simpsons and with X-Men. How much would you have paid for that? Yeah, sold. There you go. Sold for sale. Same thing. Yeah. That would have been an awesome cab. All 4 players, 4 games at $650. I don't know that I would have really batted an eye at that. That would have been amazing. Enrique says, I have a modded Final Fight already. I was just curious. I modded my cabinet already. I said, good man. You mod that cab. Mod it. I was just curious, and I have mine modded with RetroArch. I don't know the PCB situation on the Partycades. And you'd probably have to look for a teardown. Should I get one and do a teardown? Perhaps. Maybe I will. I'm curious if this is a second, these new counter or Partycades. I wonder if they're a different generation where they actually have a different PCB. I'm not exactly sure. Be interested to see for sure. I wonder if Very Sneaky can get the Street Fighter 2 online embedded ROM onto the older Street Fighter 2 cabs, and if we can then connect the Ethernet adapter to the micro SD card. Anything's possible. There's adapters for everything, but as far as the software side, you'd have to reach out to him for sure. But message him. Go to one of his eBay listings and ask him and see. Can't hurt to ask. Here we go. The new Legacy Retail MSRP will be $449. It will go up by $50 everywhere. There you go. Confirmed by P-Dub. Listen, all these prices are going up. So I was able to get from the weird Walmart Amazon Prime competition day or whatever. It was Amazon Prime competition day. I'm going to call it that. And I didn't even know that it was. I just saw the sale. And I'm like, I'll buy it. Go. I just blasted it out there, not even realizing they were trying to compete with Amazon. That was the reason for the sale. So they did it, and I got the only other Legacy cab that I really wanted. I didn't get the Atari. I was just on the fence about it. I'm not a huge old Atari game fan, except for Star Wars. That's a different story. But so I wasn't a big fan about that of that cab. But I wanted a Pac-Man cab. I didn't have one, so I picked up the Namco Legacy, and for $349. turned out it was luckier than I thought. I had no idea that the prices were going to go up $50. So now I actually ended up saving $100 on that. Crazy to think about. Because that was supposed to be the Evergreen Cades cabinets for $399. So, yep. Yes, indeed. According to John D., he never heard of the No, he said soon. Everything was soon. Everything was soon. Is this a typo, Enrique? What penis? That's right. I think that the cabs being higher priced is pricing themselves out of the market. Yes. Is there somebody else in the chat named Penis? I really hope so. Or maybe it was a typo. I don't know. Maybe you meant to type Pete Dubs. I don't know, but that's be careful with the typing because you can get trouble. You could find something. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. Not good at all. Then put the spurs to community and then kill the business model. Unfortunately, Walter, that's the way it may be going. I'm not exactly sure. This can't be a calculated move. This has to be an oh crap moment. This has to be. This can't be planned. There's no way this is part of some strategy, to pull the rug out from everybody. I mean, if it is, fire this person immediately. Whoever made that decision in a meeting somewhere, get rid of them because that's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, for sure. No, I think it's just it is a miscalculation by every stretch of the imagination. Did I just rhyme? Wow, a world of pure imagination, miscalculation. I've got problems. I've been up late. I'm sorry. No, I said Tron minus the Robo part in front of that. Oh, Robotron. Tron. Gotcha. PW Kev, what our inside sources at retailers are telling us. There you go. So I doubt PW will just make that up. He's hearing it from someone. Here, look. Oh, you're getting all the secret information right here. No clue, Kev. We heard the whispers, and the very next day, GameStop raised it $50. So what does that mean, everybody? It means I think if you've got your eye on something at a retailer and it's $3.99, you might want to jump on it. Whether it's Walmart or Best Buy, whoever has it, I think. Listen, now's the time. I'm not a big fan of the Capcom and Midway legacy cabs because of that control panel, but we've talked about fixes. I've shown you how to do that before on my channel. And the fix isn't that expensive, really. It just takes some time. So I think if you're on the fence, do it because the prices are only going up. They're only going up. And will it be temporary? I don't know. I just don't know. Majin Ian says I love my multi-cades. Good. I'm glad you love them. I'm glad you love them because there's nothing worse than regretting a purchase. Absolutely. ACS rocks esports. UGG light marquee prices on eBay have doubled. It's getting expensive. Sorry to hear that. Yep. Actually, if you're a fan of this channel, I am giving away, I don't want to give too much away as far as like my next giveaway, but when we reach 1,700 subs, which we're pretty close, I think we're 5 or 6 away from 1,700, I'm going to be giving away a Final Fight control deck with the PCB. And keep your eye out because I'm also giving away something at 1,800 and 1,900. And maybe a lit marquee will be part of that. Or 2. Who knows? We will see. Superleaf 64. I just wish the Street Fighter Partycade was Bluetooth compatible. Imagine playing multiplayer without screen peaking and other local problems. I think a lot of people want that. And I think me personally, sort of devalued, or maybe I didn't see the value in the Wi-Fi aspect of it because it's not a big deal to me personally. Because when I play online, I get beat a lot. I'm not very good, but it is a genuine feature that ups the value of the product. I mean, it's if you see something that's got Wi-Fi, you're willing to pay a little bit more. I think a lot of people are. Maybe I'm not, but I think a lot of people are. And if you're talking about Bluetooth capability, where you don't have to be physically plugged in, but local kind of 2-player action, that adds another level. Another layer of hey, listen, maybe I'll get this. It's not just, I think what you're touching on is actually, it's more than just the software. It's more than just the ROMs and the games. It's actually some of the features too. We're getting to that point now where if they're beginning to build that in, some of this price is justified, but some of it's not, because we can't lose sight of the fact that the ROMs are still the reason, the games, that's still the reason why we buy these things. And if we start packing it with features, but we start losing games, I think to maintain the same number of games, but then add features would justify a price increase. But to add features and lose ROMs you're going the wrong way. You're losing you focus on what really matters. If you're going to have 4 games, keep 4 games. If the price is going up, well, let's add Wi-Fi to the 4 games to justify that price. Don't take away games and throw features on there to just sort of try to justify that price increase. Rainwater Games. I would love a 4-player beat 'em up cab with both TMNT, X-Men, Death Adder, Simpsons, Moo Mesa, Sunset Risers, Hook, Sailor Moon, Cadillacs, Dinosaurs, Captain America, and Avengers, and Captain Commando. That's a hell of a games list. That's a hell of a games list. If there was some way you just put all that together, I think you're talking about Multicade, because there's no way these publishers are going to work together. But that would be a badass cab. That would be amazing. That'd be amazing for sure. Lee Bowers. It must be the pandemic that caused the prices to go up. It's possible. I think that's part of it. You can't deny it. You can't deny the impact that the pandemic has had on everything. The scarcity of products, and now that's going to carry over into some of the price hikes, I think. But I don't know. I would think that by now, hopefully, those impacts have been softened to where some of the supply is catching up with demand and the prices wouldn't increase. But maybe I'm wrong. I think that the biggest factor, everything that I've heard from my sources and just the people that I work with that work in purchasing and all that, is that, the price of a container, and I know I brought this up before, the price of a container from China to America used to be $5,000 to $7,000 per container, $5,000, sometimes even less, right? Those costs have gone up to where you're paying, I know the little company I work for, we're paying $20,000 to $21,000 per container now. That's crazy. To go from $5,000 to $20,000 is nuts. And that's part of it. That's got to be factored into the cost of these machines. Maybe it's temporary. Maybe this will go down. I don't know. Does this mean that maybe, just maybe, RK1UP will have at least one facility in the States that will do production? Is it worth it? I don't know. But man, it sure would be nice to kind of have these jobs come back to America, and maybe we can save on not just the cost of shipping, but those delays that causes, where if you have some sort of issue, it takes forever to get the stuff here. So to have it in the States, stateside, local on our shores would be awesome. It's a shame that for whatever reason that doesn't make a lot of financial sense for some companies. It's a shame. It's a shame, because I would love to have a facility somewhere where we could just constantly go and get leaks. We could constantly get those pictures, from upcoming stuff. And we could speculate on that endlessly. That'd be awesome. Probably a pain in the ass for RK1UP, but I think it'd be awesome. Core Bliss says, mod my Midway Legacy Mortal Kombat cabinet for the Nintendo Switch. So much fun. Yes. Okay, so you got one of the Intech. Did you get one of the Intech control panels for your Switch? What I'm excited about, what I will buy, Core Bliss. I saw that review. I saw that on Amazon. I didn't jump on it. First of all, I don't have a Switch. But what I am excited about are the 2 prototypes that I saw on was Mad Little Pixel. He had a prototype, an Intech prototype that played NES cartridges and Sega Genesis cartridges, all built into the control panel. That's what I'm kind of excited about. Imagine one of those and you get a multi-card. Imagine one of those with, a CD. Well, CD-ROM is probably too much to ask for, but I'm thinking if you had something like a CD-ROM, something that could play Dreamcast games or PlayStation games, or even, I don't know, Neo Geo carts, something. The possibilities are kind of endless with that, because when you're talking about cartridges, it's not, and there is some emulation there, but it's more hardware than software. So if you've got the carts laying around at the house, like a lot of us do, plug this thing in and off you go. And you're really just swapping out the boards. And I think it is a custom PCB on the back of those from what I've seen. So you're going to have to swap out your PCB. But for the most part, it's plug and play. Screwdriver and plug and play. So, but it's not too terribly expensive. Not too terribly expensive so far. My TMNT from Best Buy for $70 cheaper. You're saving on that shipping, aren't you there, Casey Smith? Saving on that shipping. Exactly. That's the way you go. You got to do your homework too. Got to do your homework. Oh yeah, here's the first part of what you were saying. Yeah. Has anyone had delays in canceling a pre-order from 1UP? Been 10 days and they are still processing. Ooh. No. I think it took a day for me. I did the pre-order with Arcade 1UP on their website, and then I saw that it popped up on GameStop, so I did the old switcheroo, and I contacted them and said, hey, I want to cancel my order, and then I think it was the next day. Maybe 2 days at most. So, yeah. Stay on top of it, Casey. Keep bugging them. Keep bugging them. Keep sending them emails because that's it shouldn't take that long, man. It shouldn't take that long. Should not take that long. Kev, prices never go down. So even in pandemic, if the pandemic is over, we will be stuck paying these higher prices. Wood will come down, shipping will come down, but the prices, to Kev Gret's point, will not come down. I think that's true. I think that once they know they can get away with it, it's going to be a long time before those prices come down. But then I think what will happen, this is just the market. If those MSRPs stay where they are, but, the overall prices do come down, you're going to see retailers now, they're going to fight. Now, maybe RK1UP wants this, they'll keep the same MSRP, but now Walmart is going to try to undercut Best Buy and GameStop. So they're going to go first, and then you're going to see Best Buy and GameStop follow suit because they're trying, especially Best Buy, they're trying to stay relevant, Maybe even GameStop more than anything else. GameStop is really trying to stay. I mean, they're talking about a niche retailer. They're on their dying breath. They crave physical. They crave hardware. They crave anything. I mean, that's their whole business. Once everything goes online, why do you need a GameStop? I mean, if you don't need physical copies of games, I mean, do you really need GameStop when a new console comes out every 4 or 5 years? The answer is no, kids. But if you have companies like, could you see, because I can see this. I can see GameStop morphing into a nostalgia, retro gaming type of store, where they still offer whatever they can as far as PS5 and Xbox stuff. But, really those markets are going to dry up. Everything is mostly downloadable. So what else out there is physical? These retro machines. And Arcade 1UP is the company that puts out more devices, physical things you can buy, you can stock, and you can resell. Countercades, full-size cades, Partycades. So they got the lights. They got all kind of stuff, right? Stools. I mean, they got it all. So what else how else is GameStop going to transition and stay within that gaming universe? They can't compete with Best Buy. They can't be full-blown electronics. I mean, Best Buy is barely hanging in there. So I think that while we may be stuck with them for a while, I think the market is going to dictate. Listen, the market's going to dictate what we're willing to pay for this stuff anyway. So if we're just not willing to pay for it, those prices will come down. And maybe the arcade machines won't evolve as much as maybe some of us want to. But then again, this is a retro gaming console. It doesn't need to have all this stuff. Not necessarily. You can still keep the Wi-Fi, but beyond that, what else do you really need? Give us our lit marquees. Give us our, dual speakers, stereo speakers up top. Give us the Wi-Fi, but that's it. You've been doing that. They've been doing that since Gen 3. So it's not like it's something new. Sold for sale. Those are the tiers: $299, $399, $499. Yeah, with variations within there. $299 would be what? Partycades? Oh no, you're talking about the bottom barrel basement, bottom barrel basement. You're talking bottom tier, low tier, legacy cabs. The ones without lit up marquees, the ones without risers is $299. Then you get the ones for $399, $40. Yeah, but then you're forgetting about the 650s. You're forgetting about the 599s. You're forgetting about all this upper echelon crap. It's crazy. Yeah, Rainwater is making my point. I feel like they upped the tiers. $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. Yeah. And like I said, $6.50 for TMNT is no joke, guys. $2.99, that'll be there. That'll be there. I actually think that might be, when things settle down, that might be the way to go, especially for modders. If you want to mod your cabs, that might be the deal to go for in the future, because risers are out there. You can probably pick those up for cheap. You can make those if you got a couple kicking around. I mean, if you just want one to mod the heck out of, that is kind of the way to go if you go with the $2.99 model. Then you can do whatever you want. Because if you're getting one to mod, you're going to be handy enough to make your own riser if you want. You're going to be handy enough to do whatever you want to. A lit marquee is going to be nothing. You're probably going to gut it anyway, for the most part, and just go crazy with everything else. 20 grand from one container, yes. From China to US, RK1 needs their own factory. Yeah, I agree. Their own factory around here, so they can build these cabs and have parts here instead of China. Yes, because this is the market for this. The Chinese market is not there for retro gaming. I'm sure it exists in some form or fashion, but that's not your target. Your target is the States. And when you're talking about big stuff, physically large items, I think it's not just them. I think it's a lot of retailers, in America, have to consider this. And I think something like the pandemic is going to make them rethink that. Maybe they can keep the majority of their manufacturing in China, because that's the way the world works now, unfortunately. But maybe they will have some manufacturing capabilities here in the States. It makes sense to have a backup, to at least have some control over something. If it all shuts down like that, you could shift some of that production to your small facility in the States, and then maybe that could grow. And then maybe, some people can start passing some laws that make some sense, and we can start building stuff in America again. And we can all sneak into the factory and take pictures. And you can send them to 19K Fox, and I can report on it. And we can speculate until the cows come home. Rubicon Alpha, Tetris Mini, and a racing cap. Even if I need to make it myself, finishes my home arcade. Stick right here. Pay attention to the channel. Because my next build is going to be a racing cab. It's going to be a racing cockpit, and I'm going to be using some it's not really unconventional stuff. I'm doing some eBay. I'm taking the plunge on eBay. I'm gonna go for some things that are kind of, I wanted to stay away from the racing seats for like $1,000. I'm talking about just racing seats, no controls, just a seat. Like, damn, that's a little high. That's a little crazy. Maybe we could find something else, because I don't know about you, but I would rather spend my money on the actual wheel itself, And if you are following me on Instagram, you'll see where I've already kind of teased that project already. The frame of the cockpit may be in a box, but I got the seat and I got the components that I will be using, the steering wheel and all that. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go check it out, and you'll get a little sneak peek of that project. But that's the next one, because I love racing cabs. Absolutely love them. That's those and gun cabs. That's the reason why you go to an arcade, because everybody can just sit down with the controller and play a game. And to a certain extent, that's what a control deck is, right? It's just a stick and some buttons, and that's cool. But you can easily replicate that at home. The thing you have a difficult time replicating at home is going to be those light guns, and especially the driving simulators. It's just tough to get that. So I'm right there with you. Those are some of my next big builds are going to be that. Also, the arcade is coming together. I'm going to kind of give you a sneak peek this week. We're going to go over and take a look at the future site of the arcade. We're going to do some construction. We're going to do some sort of simple projects that will hopefully help you kind of lay out your little arcade, no matter where it is, no matter how small or big it is. Hopefully give you some good pointers. There's a lot of prep work you can do to lay out an arcade that makes sense, where you don't have to add, 20 or 30 outlets in your wall. Like, it's really expensive. How do you do that in a way that makes sense? And anybody can do it with simple hand tools. There's a lot of little things we can do, and we're going to do that together. You're going to go with me every step of the way, and we're going to put together this thing. I'm going to have a few things that I'm going to let you kind of vote on and see what you think. But yeah, so we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Hopefully, work schedule will sort of taper off, and I'll be able to kind of focus on that more. But with the AVP cab all finished up, get to refocus on that. So it's going to be really, really exciting, and I'm looking forward to that. Faux show. Supreme cabinet tiers. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Upper echelon. I won't pay $600. You will pay $650. So for sale. Is taking a stand. No, I say to thee nay. $600 shall not pass from my hand or my PayPal account into yours. You keep saying that, man. I'm telling you. That's where they're going. You got to make your stand, buddy. Video games were banned in China until recently. They were also, more than one kid was also banned. China's a rough place, kids. It's a rough place. Yeah. A lot of shady stuff going on over there. The Nerd Podium Lifeform. What's up? Great to see you. Hi, Nancy K. Fox. This is my first time on one of your streams. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're talking arcade crazy goodness. Tony C., I built my own turbo outrun sit-down cab. I want pictures, bro. I want them. Come on, I want to see this. I want to see what y'all are doing. We got to come up with a way for you to be able to post stuff. Like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, you can tag me on Instagram, and I can see what you're building. I can see what you're working on, and we can communicate with each other, get together. Amazon has a cheap go-kart seat. I have one. I'm gonna let you know. I probably need to get that video out sooner rather than later, honestly, of the components that I used to do what I'm doing. But there's a lot of cheap stuff out there that I know you're kind of, you don't know what to really pull the trigger on. That is part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, is to kind of grab something on eBay, kind of cheap, and then give you my impressions on it and see, as you can see what I think about it, and then kind of go from there. Kind of go from there for sure. Casey Smith, I paid $450 for a Street Fighter Legacy from GameStop and was $400 at Best Buy currently, but sold out when I looked about a week ago. Damn you, GameStop. Damn you. That's one thing that they can ensure they're going to have one in stock by being a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, they're a little bit more expensive. So if you can just be patient, I know that's tough to do. I know exactly where you're coming from. That's tough to do. But if you can try to be patient, just hold on to those dollars. These things will pop up on, listen, constantly check Walmart, check Best Buy, and actually also keep your eyes on places like Lowe's.com. Home Depot has the more expensive cabinets. They've got two right now, but Lowe's tends to have the legacy cabinets at $399. So check Lowe's.com, and you may be able to come up with what you're looking for. Rubicon Alpha, I look forward to your build. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I will do my best. My brother, Snow Dub. What's going on? Smash the like button, peeps. Yes, do indeed. Smash that like button. Snow Dub, I appreciate you stopping by, brother. You got to show off that Mortal Kombat cab. I told you, man, that thing has gone up in value. That thing has gone up in value like crazy. I love the Simpsons and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes. And we've been discussing the Simpsons cab at some length because RK One-Up has just denied plausible deniability. They've denied that they have even announced it. It's crazy. If you missed that, definitely go back, catch the stream on the replay and look at all that. So, yes, everyone, please take a second to hit the like button. It does a body good. It does this channel good. It helps me get recommended out there, and more people can watch it, and we can talk about this stuff together. And then I just started learning how to stream and played TMNT, the arcade game, from the NES a few weeks ago. Awesome. That's very cool. It's awesome to kind of get the way we're able to kind of get this stuff out there now is really amazing. When you think about some of us old Gen Xers that had no idea that we were going to be able to get to this point with technology is just astounding. Really is. Snowed Up, what are you saying, man? Okay, I'll put the MK cab back into my background. I'm actually redecorating the YouTube room as I type. Well, good job, brother. Good job. I don't want to interrupt the work because I know that's full time. But yeah, man, that thing kicking in the background. And anybody wants to get into some good Cotton Connection puppet action, check out Snowdub's channel. He's got some great commentary, great common sense to some non-common problems. He's somebody you want to check out. Good guy, great supporter of the channel. Been with me since the beginning, and allowed me to come on his streams from time to time. So great guy for sure. Hollywood Polo, hi Fox. Tell us about your weekend. You got this. You got this. It's been a good weekend. It's been a good weekend. If you check the channel, I'm telling you, brother, I have just wrapped up the AVP cab. I'm very excited. And I'm also very excited to let everybody see what's going on over at the site of the new arcade for sure. It's gonna be fun. I've been, and if you're also, I hate to keep plugging my Instagram, but if you follow me on Instagram, I've been putting together more cabs. I've got quite a collection. It's more than just these three that you see behind me. Well, these three and this one counter. It's more than what you see behind me. It's getting bigger. I'm also coming up on some deals here. Listen, and for all you that are maybe a little bit discouraged when it comes to finding these arcade machines and paying top dollar and all that, I urge you to check out Facebook Marketplace. You would be surprised. Listen, I'm serious. You would be surprised at the people that are selling this stuff, and they never even took the plastic off the deck protector. I mean, you're going to buy this. You're going to pay less than new. I think a lot of these people understand what they have. You're not going to get it for a steal, but you'll be able to pick this stuff up. And I mean, come on, the plastic. I just bought one. It just happened. Listen, I'll let you know the secret. Lean in. Don't let it right here. I just picked up a golden tee. The guy, the cab wasn't perfect on the outside. It was pretty close. A little scratch here and there. But he had assembled it sort of incorrectly, so the parts weren't quite as tight as they should have been. So it looked kind of janky from the listing, but when I got it, I was like, oh, you just got to turn this upside down. So you flip this upside down, and then he still had the protective plastic on the deck protector. So I basically got a brand new deck protector for a golden tee, which is, worth $850,000 right now. I mean, I'm still trying to get my, the TMNT deck protector. I'm trying to get a new one of those from Arcade One Up. Can't do it. Impossible. Can't be done. Notify Me is still up there. Never going to be able to find one ever. Never going to happen. So that's frustrating. But yeah. So I got that thing for, man, how much? I think I paid $300. And those come with risers. And it's a golf game, and actually, that's one of the most played games I have in my little arcade. My older sons have friends come over, and they play the hell out of that game. I was so excited that Arcade One was going to come up with they were supposed to come out with this cab that had Silver Strike bowling as well as the golf game. So they're going to have both on the same cab. That would have been freaking awesome. But sadly, it didn't happen. Hopefully, it will happen. That is more that unique playing experience that we need to have for our arcades. Need to have it. Gotta have it. Must have it. You know what time it is. Snow Dub is awesome. Yes, he is. Ed 19K Vox. This is the Nerdporium life form. I am a little younger, older millennial, 90s kid, 80s baby. Oh, okay. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm 70s baby here. NES was my first system. Okay. And Mario and Zelda were my introduction to gaming. What a great introduction, by the way. I just did a retrospective on them. Everybody check out the Nerdporium Lifeform channel. If you've got one, definitely need to check that out for sure. Yeah, make sure you check out his channel for sure. New YouTuber just trying to get in there. Give him some love, everybody. Fox, did you see the latest SGRD on Friday? It's really funny. I got to check it out. I wasn't able to. I was busy this week trying to get a job wrapped up in West Virginia, and then I just got home. Actually, kind of late Friday, and then of course you get home and you got all the stuff you got to wrap up. I had to finish up the filming on the AVP cap, so I am going to watch that for sure. I need to watch that. Get caught up. Half my cabs have come from Facebook. Yeah, there you go. ACS Rocks Escorts. He knows what, or she. I apologize. Don't want to assume your gender. That person knows what time it is. Facebook Marketplace. I'm telling you, that's the way to go, bro. That is the way to go for sure. Snow Dub, hit me with what? What are you doing, man? You've done enough already. Hitting me with the $2 super chat. What's the latest on that KI cab? Much love, Fox. The KI cab is MIA. They have disavowed. They don't know. No updates whatsoever, but I will keep you well informed. Actually, they just pulled some shenanigans with the Simpsons cab. Snow Dub. They acted like they didn't even just catch it on the replay. We talked about it earlier. Arcade One Up is acting like they didn't even announce it.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for the $2. I do appreciate it. Let me hit you with a little bit of, let's make it burn with some cinder. Outstanding. Love it. Once again, man, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, so it's crazy. This has been kind of nuts. I think we need to go over that again for some of you that just coming back. I got to let you in on this shenanigans. What's going on? It was high. High it was. Better than low, Tony C. Floating Dreams, Arcade 1-Up was never a sustainable business model, but a cool fad that we will fondly look back on in a few years. You know what? That's not outside the realm of possibility. It is feasible for sure that this could be a passing fad. It was always going to be. It always had a shelf life, right? There's only so many retro games out there that you could, even if they got the license for all of them, there's only so many that you can actually attain. So you were going to get to a point where you couldn't do anymore. So to a certain point, you're correct, 100%. But at the same time, there's a way that they could continue to keep this thing going. I mean, if you're talking about long-term sustainability, I guess conventional wisdom would say fewer games per cab. That makes sense. But then you have to sort of even that out with value. So if you want to have fewer cabs, okay, or fewer games per cab, that's fine. But then that cost has to come down as well. So if they played their cards right, it is possible that, although you can also have variants, you could have different variants back and forth. But basically, to maintain your longevity, you could have kept 3 or 4 games per cab, but then you keep some of those other accessories down. Maybe stick to just 2-player cabs, and then go from there. But I mean, listen, I think that they're kind of going about this the wrong way, announcing games that they don't have locked down yet, obviously. And I don't think I'm talking out of turn. This is it. I mean, when you are now saying that these games weren't technically announced, when we know they're all announced, you weren't ready for prime time. You weren't ready to bring this out to the public, and now you're kind of stepping on your, you know what, and it's not good. Whoa, what's up, man? Nerdporium Lifeform with the super sticker, $5. Let me scroll up here. I gotta look at my second screen. It looks like a controller jumping up and down. That is a super sticker, man. $5. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Every little bit helps out the channel. Let me hit you with a little bit of Saberwolf. Thank you so much for the $5, man. I do appreciate it. That's really helps out the channel. Did someone say to wrap it up? What? Wrap it up? What are you talking about? Wrap it up. Just getting started. Fox, what did you think of Rexar's new arcade purchase? Oh, I don't know. I gotta look into that. I didn't realize. I got to get caught up, man. I apologize, Hollywood. I've been a little sidetracked. It's been a hellacious couple days just trying to get caught up, but I need to check out. Oh, now you got me curious. Damn! Got me thinking now. Got me thinking. Man, the chat jumped. I apologize. We have Russell Hinnicky. I apologize. Russell H., I apologize. I know I screwed up your last name. Apologize. I chatted with Scott, and when I asked if Simpsons was coming, he just gave me a thumbs up in the Facebook chat, but didn't answer the question. Montclair, New Jersey, not far from me. Schemers. Yeah, a thumbs up. This is what I mean, Russell. This weird, vague sort of the generalities in which they're speaking about a cab that was completely announced, fully announced by multiple publications, announced by their CMO. on YouTube in an interview like it was no big deal, like it was just part of their lineup, and then all of a sudden, nothing. So while the thumbs up is good, I don't know that it's even encouraging at this point. I just don't know. But yeah, so ACS Rocks Esports redo the games from cabs that already have done. Okay. For example, do a Joust cab, do a Gauntlet cab. Those are just from the See, that's what I mean. Different variants of the same cabs, or the same cab but in the current generation format. So I'll take a first gen cab, bring it up to at least a third gen spec. We got the stereo speakers and that different control panel layout, and there you go. That's a new cab that really you didn't have to do anything to. You already had the ROMs. It is the new PCB, but you're just loading, existing ROMs in your catalog on a current PCB, and off you go. And it's a new variant, and maybe you print out some different decals, but there you go. That's a way to keep your product relevant. That is a way to stay in the lexicon of video gaming. It's just a way. It's a legitimate way to do it and stay relevant. But it's increasing the value, increasing the prices, and limiting some of the games. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think at the end of the day, they're getting too damn close to that multicade price point where people are really on the edge. And I think that there's a dollar amount. There's probably a dollar amount that people are willing to pay. And I'm going to use this like as a rule of thumb. I think that the majority of consumers are not willing to pay more for a arcade 1-up than they are for a new next generation or current generation video game console. So I think you have to stay below the price point of a PS5. That's a decent rule of thumb. Or the current Xbox. You got to stay below that price point because people have those realistic conversations in their head. If they already have a PS5, maybe it's not that big of a deal. But if they're waiting for the PS5 to come out, or they're rocking a PS4 and they're looking at your cab and they're excited about it, but then they think, wow, for that much money, I could get a new PS5 and a second controller. I could get a PS5 and a new game. I could get a PS5 and I think those conversations actually happen. I think they really do. So you can't be so obtuse and removed from reality that you don't acknowledge the existence of other products that are within the wheel. I mean, that is what those are real conversations people are having every single day when they're talking about some of these extravagant things like these arcade 1-up cabinets. Realistically, I mean, $650 is a whole hell of a lot of money. And if they're right now, the way things are right now, where you can't even buy a PS5, that's one conversation. But when production ramps up, when we can get these things, when I can go to Walmart, I can't even buy a PS4 right now. But if I could go into Walmart right now and get a PS5, I'm going to ask myself these questions. Am I going to, put the down payment on X-Men for $650 or Turtles for $650, or for $600 get, what is? I think it's $600 for the actual physical media version, but the digital version is only $500. Am I going to pay that for? I'm going to get a PS5 and save $100, $150. I mean, realistically, it. You have to ask yourself. You have to acknowledge the market in which you are competing. If that makes sense, you have to do that. You can't just pretend like you can just set the price and no one else exists. That's not realistic. It's not. It's not at all. Core Bliss, Gauntlet has like 3 to 5 titles. Could have its own Rampage cabinet. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the very first generation cabs had 3 to 4 titles. The Street Fighter cabinet, I think by the time you got to the 3rd gen and we saw Ninja Turtles with 2 games, we also saw the 4-player cab. We thought, okay, we in our minds rationalized, okay, it is only 2 games, but it's the first 4-player cab we've ever seen. But besides that, if you roll back the clock, predating all that, those first gen cabs had, like the Street Fighter cab had 3 Street Fighter games on it. The Final Fight cab had 4 games. And now consumers are seeing, especially consumers like us that have been with the brand for so long, it's starting to come down. J2TC4 corrects me. And he is correct. 400 for the disc and 500 for the physical. I apologize. Well, that drives the point home. I see you correct yourself. Digital. And 500 for disc. That makes my point even that much more valid, doesn't it? That those are real conversations. Do I want to pay? Well, at $400 for a digital only PS4 or PS5, you are having the comparison now of, do I just want to get a legacy cab that I can currently get at Walmart for $399, or do I want to get a PS5? I mean, really, when you think about that, those are the conversations that people are having. Right now, it's not an option, but once a PS5 is sitting in Walmart and I have that option, because right next to it, maybe one aisle over is going to be that legacy cab for $399, or the PS5 for $400. I mean, maybe that's not every purchase, but that's going to be an initial purchase. Maybe not everybody who is looking at an Arcade 1-Up is also looking at a PS5, but some of them are. There's going to be some market share that's taken from Arcade 1-Up because the PS5 is finally out. It's finally available. People can grab one. It's not as rare as it was before. It makes sense. And so you got to think about that. So you got to price yourself, I think, accordingly. Well, I apologize. The thing, there you go. Just some guy says, FYI, the Street Fighter 2 Partycade does have a lip marquee. All right, buddy. We are going to take a look at this because I don't want to mislead anyone. And I also don't want to be uninformed. QVC Partycade. Let's share. Let's take a look at this. It does look like, yeah, see, look at that. Because if you look at this marquee with these yellow, you go to Miss, yeah, you don't have that with the Miss Pac-Man or the Pac-Man, do you? Let's see if it spells that out. Let's see if it says it. If I'm wrong, I am wrong, and I have no problem saying it. Now, see, this is where some of these listings are really confusing. You come down here, and it's talking about all the party. This is not the Partycade we're looking at. This is the Pac-Man Partycade. Come on, show us the Street Fighter Partycade. Well, I don't see it down here. Description. Yeah, it's just giving me the description, and maybe I'm just stupid, which is, it's not outside the realm of possibility. I'm not seeing it, but I think that you're right. Yeah, see, I think you're right, because look at that yellow up there. That's probably, yeah, I think you're probably keeping that in. So I'm going to go with you are correct, sir. Just some guy is just some correct. It does have a lip key. So that's going to move the needle for some people, not so much for me, but for some people it will. I'm just not a big fan of the form factor. But if you got the lip marquee, that's one less thing you got to mod. So 8-bit, what's going on, man? Stopping in to say hi and have a great chat. Thank you, sir. I know it's kind of late, but we're having some good conversations, so I am enjoying myself. Enjoying myself for show. Let me scroll down. Have I missed anybody? I bought the I bought the Atari Legacy cab because I knew that would be the last decent priced good cab to get. Unfortunately, I think you might be right. I was just talking about how I picked up the Namco Legacy for $350 from Walmart, and I didn't know. I knew it was a good deal of $50 cheaper, but I had no idea it was going to be. Looking back now, it's actually going to be $100 cheaper. So, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for commenting. I do appreciate it. I'm glad you were able to get that. I hate it when people, really want a cab and they just miss out on it, not because they didn't have the cash or they weren't interested, because they just didn't. The availability wasn't there. That sucks. That's just disheartening. I missed out on too many consoles and Arcade 1-Up products because of that. It's frustrating. The Fist of Love. Punching with love. Killing with kindness. I'm sure someone has said it. I'm late to the party. If Average Gamer did your Average Gamer did a video on the Street Fighter Partycade. I gotta check that out. Your Average Gamer. I gotta check out his. I gotta check out that for sure. And man, I'll tell you what. You know what really sucks? When I run out of bourbon, I gotta play this video.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Well, the class is empty. The topics are discussed, and it's time for me to roll on out of here. I thank you so much for stopping by. We've gone an hour and 45 minutes. I always love the discussions on Saturday night or Sunday nights. It's really awesome. I hope everybody has a great week. Looking forward to seeing you throughout the week. I've got a couple things planned. Excited about the new projects coming up. Catch me here. I think I'm going to try to do something late next week. Maybe I don't know. I may be busy Friday. Let's tentatively set it up for Friday night. We're going to talk about those pre-orders. That pre-order. What are you going to get? Since Simpsons isn't there, are you gonna spring for the X-Men? Are you gonna go for it? I think I might. But to find out for sure, you got to stay tuned right here for all the latest and greatest on Arcade One. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I want y'all to have a blessed day. Enjoy your week. Don't work too hard, and I will see you next time.